Hey, beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. My name's Astara and I'm an angelic communicator and clairvoyant. And I'm doing a morning one. I've just got out of bed and I thought my face is still waking up. I thought, let's come and do a twin flame thing before the rest of the day happens. So I'm going to talk to you today about the highs and lows of the twin flame journey. Now, the twin flame journey is very, very challenging. It's very transformative. But what makes it challenging is the fact that you're going to be going up and down, up and down, up and down like this. You're going to be expanding outwards so that you feel fabulous and great and like you're full of love one day, so expansive you think you might explode, and then you're going to contract in. And this is part of the kind of oscillation that goes on. And it happens in your energy. You're actually going on your energy field. You've been activated by your twin. I can remember times where I was lying on my bed at home after being activated and I just felt like my heart was going to explode. And it was the most I could do was just to lie there because I could feel my heart expanding so much. And I thought, I don't know if I can actually hold this energy. I was completely blissed out. And then it would be like that for a while and then it would go in again and it would be like a crash because every time you feel that expansion, you're actually receiving more light, you're downloading more light from your higher self, your higher consciousness. And this is where your twin has been able to activate your template. You've got to imagine the twin flames a bit like, I don't know, a bit like two tuning forks that come together and they're exactly the same resonance. So that when you meet and you touch points in this life, it's like your energy fields are meeting and it's kind of, like some sort of nuclear, fission going on where the light that's coming in is expanded and just the power of it is very uncontrollable in some ways. But there is a rhyme and a reason to this. There is a kind of overall arching orchestration to this process. And I made it through those times when I was so expansive I thought I was going to explode and then they would come back in again. During the first couple of months, you might have that experience and it will come back as you go along this journey. You'll find that those massive experiences slowly become a little bit less kind of expansive until you have a touch point with your twin again. It's very common. If you look at the contact points or the touch points you have with your twin, you will notice that they often come when you're feeling relaxed, when you're feeling more detached, when you feel like you've mastered a certain point, you've been through a certain point in the initiation, and all of a sudden your twin will come in and boom, you'll be going through another process again. This is happening really so you can expand more into your higher self. You can expand more into the truth of who you are and to clear up your energy field, to clear up your cellular memory, to clear up any experiences in your body of wounding, anything that's keeping you in distortion of any kind. So it can feel very unnerving when it happens. But if we understand that there is a process and there's a cyclical process to this, then we can start feeling much more confident and less fearful and more able to surrender and embrace the process because we know now that surrender into any of these processes is the way to move beyond resistance and it makes it all easier. Okay, I'm bringing this video now because I had this experience yesterday. I had a lot of mental looping yesterday. It was quite intense and I managed to go from really feeling quite flawed at the beginning of the day to feeling pretty amazing at the end of the day. And so I even went to a party last night at the end of the day that kind of popped up from nowhere and suddenly people were saying, "Oh, you're glowing, what's going on?" And it was true, like my aura was glowing because I managed to come through very dense energy yesterday related to my twin because I could feel it on the bond and managed to transform that energy and move it into a higher vibration. Now, if you want to know what went on yesterday, I did a mental looping video, which I think is going to be published this weekend. So go and have a look at that. Now, if you're finding on this journey that on one moment you feel great and the next minute, seemingly without warning, you find yourself spiraling into some sort of doubt, depression, sadness, and you kind of just feel like you want to cry or intense emotional depth of in a place that doesn't feel very good, then you're not alone. This is quite normal for the journey. And these emotional swings can feel really extreme. And they can be emotional swings and they can be mental swings as well, where you feel really positive, like there's no doubt, 1 hour of the day, and then the next hour you're like completely questioning everything. You're blocking your twin from your phone, and you don't know why you've just swung so wildly. But is actually part of showing you that you can manage your flow state. This is essentially what you're learning, that you are in a flow state of energy, which your thoughts, beliefs, feelings, how your energy is moving through your body is showing you through those swings. And also, because you're bonded to your twin is also doing it. So this is why it can feel really intense, because you'll get to like, oh, I'm balancing myself, and then your twin will be led through that energetic bond into rebalancing themselves, and they will then have a swing. So it's a bit like it's a bit like you're swinging like this, and then you manage to kind of, oh, I've come back into balance, yay, and then they will swing as well. And I don't know if they will, how long it will take them to come back into balance, but each time you both do it, it will get easier. If you imagine the first couple of months of doing this, especially doing separation, the swings are pretty wild. And then over time, you'll just get the hang of it. You'll get the hang of like, oh, I'm going through a swing again. So 1 hour you're overflowing with love and certainty, and then next you're questioning everything and you're going into doubt. So notice where your looping is, because that will show you where you're trying to create the balance. If it's in the mind and it's in your thinking, and you go from complete like, yeah, it's going to happen. Yeah, everything's good. Everything's working out for me. I'm an amazing magnet. Love is coming my way, to the opposite, which is it's never going to happen. That person doesn't like me. Ah, he hates me. All the reasons why, you know, you'll notice that that is part of the swing, and not to be attached to anything. We're learning mastery, aren't we? And probably mercy, mercy on ourselves. Because they're your twin, they're actually just reflecting you, they're just mirroring you. And it's very helpful in some ways, but kind of torturous in another way. It's like a roller coaster that you can't really switch off, but you do have the manual to this roller coaster. Luckily for you, you've just got to find it and remember, and then bring it back into action. So the other thing that I want to say here is the emotional swings can be very intense as well. This is part of you learning how to balance your power, how to look after your inner child as well, and any wounding around the inner child. So if you're having sensations of feeling lost, abandoned, like like just ill. Sometimes you can go through that process. It's all about your power center being cleansed. And the more you can just love your inner child through that experience, you're actually also reflecting that back to your twin. The heart chakra is an interesting one, because I literally feel the physicalness of my heart chakra. And today I can feel that my twin is probably going through something, because I feel like this tightness on the right side, my masculine side of the heart. But you'll notice how your heart chakra expands, then contracts, expands, and then contracts. And this is all about this activating and also helping your twin to activate. So if your twin is a matrix twin and very much embedded in the matrix, they may have never really spent much time in their heart vibration, even though they have it. They're just like you, they're just an extension or a reflection of you. This will be new for them. So you'll probably be holding the more extreme energy while they're trying to activate the impulse to expand their own heart chakra. Your energies are interconnected, and as one of you shifts, your twin will also shift. And that's why you feel it more. That's why after you've done quite a lot of work on yourself, you're like, I got my balance now. Then you feel that again. You're like, how come this is going back into this? Because you're feeling your twin. And these highs and lows are like waves. So you have to become a person who is used to this landscape, adjusting to this landscape so that you're both coming into deeper alignment. It's an amazing experience, really, even though it's very challenging, because you're having a chance to really dredge open your shadow, to really look into the places which feel very, oh, like, have been keeping you small, have been keeping you trapped or compressed or in a wounded place. So every time you go through this, you are actually doing it for yourself, for your twin, and the collective. Because yes, collective twin flamers, we are all connected in this process. We might have different vibrations, and we definitely do. We've come here to do different things, but we are all working towards a similar outcome. So your job is not to extinguish any any energy that's happening in your body. Your job is to find a way to work with these extremes, to allow yourself to be okay with these disorientating experiences and know that this experience is not here to punish you. Sometimes it can feel like you're being punished and you're not being punished. They're here to balance you and to teach you. Like imagine that you are a flame and your twin flame is a flame, which is why they're called twin flames. And when you come together, it's incredibly powerful experience because it's very transformative. When you touch your energy fields, it's very alive. And in that fire and that aliveness, and fire is initiation, it's purification. Just remember that you don't want it to be an inferno. Like when you come together, you would, burn each other to pieces if you had too much of the fire that was unregulated. And you also don't want it to go out. So what you're learning is to tend that fire so it's not too hot and it's not too cold, because this is amazing power that you're going to be using, you're going to be utilizing in the world, and you're going to utilize it in yourself and together. But this is your initiation process into this. So your job is to look after that fire, to tend the fire and allow it to be flowing and loving and careful and still alive and in its own power. So not to hold it, not to suppress it, but to allow it to be warm, allow it to be guiding you and illuminating without consuming too much. It will consume, hopefully, the negativities, the distortions, but it won't consume you, and you'll be able to hold this in your being. I'm just had a little download then because my guides are saying to me that it's it's kind of interesting because what's happening in this process is we're learning how to be masters of this. And one of the reasons we're doing it is because in the collective there has been immense distortion. And even in spiritual light workers and star seeds and beautiful people just like you, there has been distortion. There has been, and I meet this a lot actually because we're in such a distortive matrix. There's been a lot of people who go into their ego, and that's fine, but it's like we have to manage our ego. We have to kind of work with our ego a little bit here, and keep it tempered so it comes through the heart and works with our own alignment through the heart. And if we go too much into that ego place, and I've noticed it with a few people, that we can go into like almost this being open to other forces that want to manipulate and control what's going on in us. And there has been a lot of beautiful people who've been hijacked in the past, and we sometimes see that with gurus and all sorts of things that have gone in our world. And that definitely is an imprint from Atlantis as well, where the high priestesses, the high priests were manipulated and controlled. And there was a lot of very distortive energy that came through that we're now having to deal with. So there is a link between what I'm saying here about really learning to master your own instrument so that you cannot be manipulated and controlled in any way, either by human people or people, beings that are bigger than us, that are working outside in the spiritual realm, trying to get into the physical realm, trying to influence into the physical realm. So this is why this is such a big initiation process. Many of us divine feminines have been in mystery schools, many lifetimes in mystery schools, come from mystery planets and other solar systems and galaxies where we've come in and we're bringing in certain powers, but we have to kind of learn how to use it in this distorted matrix. So this is why the twin flames, I'm being told by the Angelic Council of Light, is such a kind of grueling process. But thank God we're doing it where we can sleep in a nice bed at night, hopefully. We can eat nice food. We can connect with each other on here, on YouTube or anywhere else, and we can find the love and connection that we need to go through this process. It's not like we have to bury ourselves alive anymore, but it might feel like that as you're going through it. And I really do encourage you, if you are alone in this process, reach out to someone. I mean, you can come to me for a reading, or find someone else on the twin flame journey. And I am looking into doing more like a directory or even monthly meditations where you can have an opportunity to see who the other twins are. There is a sort of an anonymity about this process because we're trying to protect the collective, but it's also good to have someone that you're working with so that it doesn't feel quite so lonely. So when you're feeling these emotional swings, sorry, that was a bit of a side by side. And when you're feeling these emotional swings, one of the best things to do is not fight them, to go into them, to journal, to express yourself, to paint, to do poetry, to dance, to move it in the body, to do go for a swim, do gym, like chat to people, find a way to process this emotion so that you're not suppressing it because suppression has been how we've got into this rigid fixed shape, which we are trying to dissolve now. So, journal, anchor yourself through meditation, tell your inner child that you love her. I mean, this is all part of that. And because a lot of the time you'll be feeling your twin through the bond, you can push them out of your field. Just so you know, you're not meant to be processing and emotional laboring for them as well. Even though you're aware of it because it's a shared process, you can actually just push them back and say, okay, now you have to deal with this. You deal with this in your space. And one of the ways I found quite helpful with this, I've brought down our star frequency, our shared frequency that I work with a lot in this life, which for me is linked to Venus, and I bring it down through my energy field and put it between us so that when they come trying to connect in and, with all their things that are going on, they meet that shared frequency that reminds them of who they actually are. And that for me is what I do for me. And so I've learned that through my process. And so I'm teaching it to my twin. Like, it's okay, everything's all right. It might feel awful at the moment, but actually just tap into this star frequency and that will give you what you need. That will give you the growth you need. So I want you to know here, my lovely, beautiful twin flame collective, my divine feminines, that holding this process isn't about being perfect. I think we've gone past like perfection, haven't we? We are perfect. Now we're just learning how to use our instrument, perfection. So it's about just being present with it, just going through those highs and lows and seeing them as an opportunity for growth and self-awareness. So that means you kind of need to embrace them a bit and allow yourself to call upon your spiritual strength because you have that and be compassionate with yourself and your twin. And over time, these swings will get less, just so you know, they will soften. There might be days when they really go for a long time and then they come back again. Just know you're learning to dance with this energy instead of resisting it. Learning to dance with it can be quite beautiful. It can be feel like, wow, I just moved from that feeling like I just wanted to like collapse and not do anything today. I've just managed to transform that to feeling much like more like myself, and I release energy by doing that. So that's good. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me on this really wonderful path, this incredible path, this amazingly frustrating path at times, and for meeting this with an open heart. And if this message resonated with you, then, maybe make a link in the comments below. I love hearing your comments. I love seeing what's going on for you in your journey as well. And asking yourself, maybe, how do you balance the fire within you if you're still here? And if you want to learn more about what I'm doing, then come to a workshop, come to the meditation I'm going to set up, just so that we have more of a connection between us. And also, if you want to do a one-to-one twin flame session with me, it's just amazing to do them with you. So go to my link tree, go to my website and my Instagram, and I'll see you there.